Please come. أنا هتكلم English بس ثواني. Okay. Natchi is amazing. I'm sure you all agree. صح كلنا متفقين إن ناتشي ده شخص من حتة تانية خالص. Okay. And I want to tell you a secret that I didn't say from the very beginning. When we started dreaming about this event, suddenly Natchi was in Turkey for a training and he met Basma. Basma is part of MII global team for the follow-up. And he told her, Basma, I feel that I should be in Egypt and doing trainings for AI. And it was like, how can we do that? Just how can we do that? But this is what he felt, okay? So this whole thing started with a dream in Natchi's heart, or a dream that God has put in Natchi's heart, and a dream that God has put in Samer and my heart to do this. So Natchi is really very core and instrumental to what all of this is happening. I got to know him a little bit over the past time. He's an amazing man of prayer. He's an amazing man of excellence. And he is a man that you can really depend on and you can really trust. Natchi is the one who sends all the newsletters that MII, that you from MII, not a newsletter, but the DDM, the digital media. What does news? Okay, so he has actually on his page, on his LinkedIn and on his personal page, he has every week he sends 5 minutes, a video of 5 minutes of all the updates that happened on social media the past week in terms of tools and technology and all of that. So I would encourage you very much that you look him up, Natchi Lazarus, and look him up and follow him, because he is really amazing and he really simplifies things in a very simple way. So Natchi is going to talk to us about this very interesting topic that personally I'm very excited to hear more about. So thank you, Natchi, and please take all your time. Don't worry, we'll shift the schedule, please. ممكن تسقفوا له يا جماعة.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's dive right in. So we are shifting gears now. So we're shifting gears from talking about AI from a theological and practical and introductory way to the future of AI. So many of you may think AI is the future, and also it's the present. You're right, AI is the future, and what we are going to talk about is the future of the future. So this is the version of AI that is going to become common. In the next year when I come to Egypt, I'm prophesying. So next year when I come, AI agents will be a normal topic. It will be part of our life. The next 2 years, all of you will be having agents. Okay? That's not just a prophecy, but it's actually that's how the world is going to work. So this topic here is where we are getting into in the next few years. And I will tell you, when I show you who else thinks this, then you will know that I'm not just dreaming about this. Okay? So agentic AI is what we are talking about right here. And I want to start with a few Bible-based thinking process about agentic AI, because the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? As a man thinketh, so is he. It's in the Old Testament, and then Jesus, even quotes that. So we have to think right. That's what we've been hearing, thinking about AI in the right way. Hold on, I need to switch on my timer. Okay, just so I don't run over. So we need to think in a way that God wants us to think about AI. And how do we think about agentic AI is what I want to talk to you about. So the way you think about agentic AI, I always, like I told you, I ask God for scriptures because I want everything to be word-based. So here is a scripture we're going to talk about. And don't worry, I'm not going to preach. We are going to talk about AI agents. So just the scripture that I want to anchor this on in terms of how you think about agentic AI. Ephesians 5:16. First of all, I like a few words when I look at this scripture. It says, not as fools, but as wise. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. We all want to be wise. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. This is very much applicable to the phase that we are all getting into. And there are 3 action words in the scripture that I want you to notice, which are going to be the basis of agentic AI mindset. First is see. I like action words in the Bible. See. So God wants us to see something. Second, walk. That's why I told you, when you want to do something in AI, move, walk. Start doing something, because God always wants us to move and walk, right? Only then you can be wise. And then finally, redeeming the time. So these are the 3 big action steps I want you to keep in mind as we go through this session, the next workshop, and tomorrow's workshop. So all of this is going to be building on each other. So we're going to, today is part 1, tomorrow is part 2 of Agentic AI. So after this, I won't be quoting scriptures, but this is the scripture that we're going to base everything based on. This is my framework when you think about agentic AI. So what do we need to see, right? See, redeem time, and walk, right? So we need to see 2 things. The work that you and me are doing, okay? When you think of agentic AI, you need to think about the work that you guys are doing. You need to think hard about it. Second is, how do you want to redeem time? Okay, so those are the 2 big questions. Can agentic AI help me redeem time? Second, can it help me fulfill my purpose? Simple. These are the only 2 things you need to think about before selecting any workflow and process. But I'm going to also give you a lot of frameworks. We're going to talk about different steps that can help you in agentic AI. So, any technology goes through this kind of evolution, right? If you look at that doesn't look much like a car. That looks almost like a horse buggy, right? But that was the early version of the car, and then you know how it kind of evolved. And not just cars, any technology that we know, mobile phone, whatever, it goes through an evolution process, and one building on top of each other, right? So first there was this, and then there were buttons, and then even now when you look at the apps, they sort of look like a button, set of buttons, right? So some things don't change. They just keep building on each other. In the same way, AI is also evolving into different structures, different ways. And this new evolution is agentic AI. So any technology, I want to show you how technology generally evolves from a technology point of view, how it becomes something that is useful to everyone. So there are a few levels when it comes to technology. Okay? First is the hardware and storage. And then there are 4 things when it comes to technology. We're not going to talk about this, but I want you to know, because you are in an AI summit. So you need to understand a few technical words. So first is hardware and storage, infrastructure, software, applications. Pretty much this is the levels or stack with which any software works. So if you ask the Theosuma team and all of the tech guys here, they will tell you this is how any technology works. And when it comes to AI, the way it works is, the hardware and storage part is the GPU. All of you heard of NVIDIA. Who has NVIDIA stocks? Good on you. So this is the storage and the GPU part. That's the foundation. Then the infrastructure is cloud or local AI, where everything sits. And then software is the AI models itself. And then applications are the industry apps. So typically, any software has to have all of this, and AI also has. So don't worry about what these are and all. I want you to understand where AI agents fit in. Now, if any software, any technology has these 4, it is still in a nascent stage. It doesn't become big. You know, when a software or an application or a new technology becomes big and global, watch the next step. The next step where it goes really good is when people start adopting it in the mass scale. When it becomes part of people's life. That is when it becomes big. So any technology that is not used by people on a regular basis remains a nice technology to have, but it's not useful, right? That is the layer called tools and workflows. So AI, now we are getting into the agentic space. Listen carefully, because I want you to understand in your mind why we are spending so much time talking about this and why this is going to be part of your life in the next coming years. Because so far, AI has crossed these 4 levels. It has a memory, it has cloud, it has all the models, and we all did clap, you know, we are excited, all of that happened, we saw the apps and all of it. But now with agentic AI, it reaches that spot where it starts becoming a really useful tool. It's going to be part of your workflow. I'm going to show you. By the end of tomorrow, you will understand what I'm talking about. Right? It can solve real problems. It's not a toy. It's not something that you just play with, but it becomes a real solution for real world issues. So look at the buzz. Now, I'm not the only one excited about this. I want you to make sure that you know it. You know this guy, right? He's a little bit stretched, but that's who he is. Mark Zuckerberg. What does he say? He says every business, look at the word every business in the future, just like they have an email, website, social media, is going to have what? An AI agent. And this is not a guy who is just waking up with a new idea. This is someone who has access to all our information. If anybody knows about you and me, it's him. He knows more about me than my wife. Right? He has so many signals about me. They have such access to so much information. Listen carefully. And when he says something, you have to pay attention. He is saying, just like an email, just like a website, just like social media presence, you're going to have AI agents. Now, we as Christians, as media professionals, we need to wake up. And we need to say, wait, if everybody's going to have AI agents, I need to learn about it. The great thing is it's still not here, right? It's there a little bit. I'm going to show you that little bit part. It's still not fancy. It can't do everything. But the basic structure and the basic architecture and the technology is already here. Which means you and me, as Christian organizations, for once, can go with the technology and grow with the industry. So that is why this is so important, right? This is Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, and he says AI agents will be able to understand our needs, preferences, and proactively help us. This is Andrew, one of the most influential people. If you don't follow anybody, follow him. Whatever he teaches, just consume. He is one of the pioneers in the space and one of the biggest brains. I almost devour everything he puts out. And he teaches a lot. He's the main guy behind Coursera. He has such a heart. I wonder if he may be, so many Christian values in the way this guy works. Amazing guy. So that's Andrew. If there is one thing in AI that should pay attention to, it's agentic AI. That's a big statement. Right? And the same with Bill Gates. Right? Never mind, we can move on with Bill Gates. But the other important person without whom we cannot have any AI conversation, the ChatGPT man himself, Sam Altman, what does he say? Agentic systems are systems that can take action. And here are the 5 things he said AI is going to become. And this is pretty much the goal of OpenAI. Okay? He literally put it out there. He said, OpenAI as an organization, we want to do these 5 things. And this is how the evolution happens. So this is not from me, it's from him. So he said the first version we had was conversational AI, which is ChatGPT, which is the way we know it, just conversations. And then reasoning AI, the reasoning models. And the next is what? Agentic AI. So that's what we are going to talk about today. And he says from here we'll go into the advanced versions of AI, innovator and organizational AI, which is going to be the future, the AGI, getting closer to the artificial general intelligence. So this is absolutely one of the big areas that you need to be paying attention to. So what are AI agents? Let's get into the brass tacks. Let's understand this technology. So far, you and me, we have been using what? We've been using just inputs and getting to ChatGPT and getting the outputs out, which is great, right? Which is amazing. Whatever you give as input, it processes, it works on it, and it gives an output. Right? Whatever technology or whatever Claude or Perplexity or OpenAI, whatever you think of, this is what we've been doing so far. So just to give you a bigger explanation, here is how Gemini, any LLM works for that matter. So don't worry about what these all means because even I don't know. So I'm just putting this from Google's slide just to show you a point. Whatever we give as input, prompt, text, image, videos, that's the input. And then the whole thing is processed. So however complicated that might look and it might get, basically that's the second step. The intelligence takes your input, processes it, and finally gives you an output. That's all. That's all AI is all about. Whatever it is. Whether it's VO3, a nano banana, whatever we are talking about, these are the 3 simple steps. Input, intelligence, and output. But that is the LLM model that we're used to. But what is agentic AI? This is non-agentic. When you think of agentic AI, I want you to think in the right way. When you think of agentic AI, don't think of tasks, but think of workflows. Stay with me. All right? So don't think of task, but think of workflows. Not just input, intelligence, output, but how can I do multi-step workflows? How can I get intelligent actions to get things done? I get excited when I look the word get things done because it goes back to our verse in Ephesians chapter 5, right? God wants us to get things done. He wants us to walk. He wants us to accomplish stuff. And all of you are sitting here. Some of you have traveled from different countries in the world. I looked at Philip's name and I was like, wow, I get to meet Philip from Poland. Why? Because we've got things that need to be done. That is why Agentic AI can help. Not just input, intelligence, output, but actual workflows. So you can do multi-step. You saw a little bit of what Danny presented, right? You can do Daniel. He doesn't like to be called Danny, by the way. So he wants to be called Daniel. So he presented a little bit of that picture, but we're going to see even more. Okay? So that can happen. So what are the 4 aspects of Agentic AI? Agentic AI, when you say AI agents, typically they have 4 pieces that are part of them. First is, they are not task-driven, but they are goal-driven, right? When you think of a task and you say, I want to create an image, that's not Agentic AI. If you say, I want to create a text, that's not Agentic AI. But when you say, I want to take this particular content and I want to create an image out of it, then I want to take that image, put it on social media, then I want to go and write something for social media, and I want to create a script out of it, and then all of this coming together has to go into my dashboard, and I want to see how it worked. You see that? That's the workflow. One agent will be able to do all of it. So you just trigger the agent, it goes boom, 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 and gets it done. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to demonstrate this to you. So I want to demo to you different ways in which agents are going to work. That's tomorrow's session. So that is the first thing I want you to know. Second, assess. So an agent is not just doing what you say, but it starts planning. Think about it. Now we are shifting gears. Instead of you thinking about a task, creating a prompt, putting it inside a LLM model, and then the LLM, that's where intelligence comes. So right now, the intelligence is coming in the 3rd step. You are thinking, then you create a prompt, only then the intelligence comes. Here, we are bringing the intelligence to step 1. You just go and give this agentic AI your requirement. You say, this is my workflow. I want you to start planning about it. So it will do the planning. In order to get your task done, what should it do? What are the tools it has to use? How should it accomplish this task? This is called reasoning. That is why this agentic AI was not implementable before reasoning models were released. So that's why the timeline is very interesting. That's why you see Sam Altman, the smart guy, you see him going in the right step. He said conversational AI, reasoning AI, and then comes AI agents. Because for AI agents to be AI agents, they have to reason. They have to think. Like if I go to them and say, I want to reach a group of people in this country. Morning, we were talking about Sudan or, countries like that. So you say, I want to reach people and this is my goal. So the AI agent, not right now, but in the future, will think. Right now they think, but not in the way we want. It's still evolving. But what it will do is, it will think, okay, so this is the country. This is what you want to do. Let me think, what is the best way to do it? And I'm not thinking, the LLM is thinking with millions and millions of tokens and knowledge and everything built into it. It's starting to reason out. Right? Tomorrow when I show the demo, I'll show you. You can actually see it think as you see the workflow. Then the third is access to tools. This is a big one. So any AI that does not access tools is not agentic. It's good old input, intelligence, output. See, even if it looks complicated, if it does not go outside and access a new tool. So later today at 6:30 when we have the workshop, I'm going to show you, how many of you use Canva? Almost all of you. How many of you use ChatGPT? Almost all of you. Don't raise your hands, right? Now, in the evening at 6:30, I'm going to show 6 or 6:30, depending on when, maybe already. So, depending on whenever Raid wants me to do it, I will show you how to use Canva inside ChatGPT. How many of you have used Canva inside ChatGPT? as an app. We're going to look at that, right? Things like that. So when you do that, that becomes agentic. Because now you're not inside ChatGPT talking to ChatGPT. Suddenly you're going outside ChatGPT and you're giving it access to your Canva account, not general Canva account, your Canva account. Your Canva account has what? It has your colors, it has your text, it has your brand design, it has everything that you need to do in Canva, and ChatGPT can go in and work on it just like a person. That is agentic, right? So that access to tools is a big part of agentic workflows. And then finally, memory. Memory, revision, reviews, improvement. So an agent can remember things. You don't have to say it again and again. There's a new technology released by Claude last week, just 3-4 days ago, called Claude Skills. It's technically called Claude Code Skills or Agent Skills. So that they have completely revolutionized the way we work. Okay? So this is about memory. So when you give a skills, the instruction to Claude, it can remember everything. The next time you go and ask, it will remember what it did earlier, and it will pull all that information out. And not just that, it will iterate. What is iteration? It will correct itself. It will make itself better. It will improve itself. Isn't that useful? See, that's why I get so excited about these AI agents business, because it not only thinks and plans, but it uses tools, and it improves itself, and over time, doesn't it sound like a person that you're recruiting? Right? When you recruit a person for your team, that's what they do. They assess, you just tell them, you call them, and they say, hey, we are having a team. So when Rai is having the next event, he calls the team, and he says, we're going to have a team, we're going to have an event, go and plan. So they think about it, they realize what they need to get this event done, and then they remember and they improve on this event next time. Right? That's what we do. So that's why these 4 components of AI agents are absolutely crucial. Now, that is why I think we are moving from this toy. All of you would have created it. I created it. My daughter loves it. I have a 7-year-old daughter. So she loves it. But my point is, how useful is this for the gospel? Nothing. It's absolutely useless. It's great, but it's not useful at all. But AI agents, we are getting to a point where agents can understand my goal. They can remember who I am. They can generate content just the way I do and check for reviews and approvals. So I like where we are going. We are going from being a toy to a transformational tool. AI is finally becoming really, really useful. Okay, I like it. I like it when I can get things done with technology. So here is the next aspect of AI agents I want you to understand. So far, all good? Everything okay? Can we go on? Any questions? You want me to stop for something? Anything you want to talk about? Okay. So the next aspect of AI agents is AI agents can work as multiple agents working together. This is the next whole new level. So this is almost like an organization, right? So they can not just work as one person, but as multiple people. So here is an example for you, just so you get your head around it. So you are here. So first thing you will create, just hypothetically, first thing you will create is a manager agent. Again, this is an AI, okay? You will create. I'll show you exactly how to create an agent. You can use different tools to create an agent, different apps, different ways to do that. So you will create a manager agent, and under the manager agent, there will be a couple of agents. One is a script writer sub-agent, right? And then there will be a copywriter sub-agent who writes some copy. And then there will be an agent who goes and posts on YouTube. And then there will be an agent that posts on Instagram. All of this are AI. Okay? And this sub-agent, it will report to the main agent, and the main agent will report to you. Literally. I will show you how it works. It will blow your mind. So what you will do, you will open a chatbot with this guy. You will have only one chatbot, and you will be chatting only with this guy. So you will say, hey, I want you today to post. So hopefully tomorrow in the demo, I'll show you. One of the workflows I have is I wake up with a Bible verse. As you can see, I keep talking about verses. So I wake up with the Bible verse in my heart. So I have agents where I'll take the Bible verse and I will give it to this agent. That's all I'll do. I'm talking about like a person. Or she, whatever. So it will take that Bible verse and it will delegate the task to these sub-agents. I will not do it. It will do it. So it will delegate the task to a script writer who writes a YouTube script based on one Bible verse. And I tell what version it has to pick up. I am particular about NKJV, so I will say that's the version I like. And it will then write a copy for my Facebook, and then it will go and post on my Instagram and YouTube. If I want to check it, I can check it. I'll show you tomorrow. You can check, make sure everything is right, and just click a button. That's it. So tomorrow, listen carefully. I was just telling earlier to one of our friends, here is what we are going to be doing. Are you all ready to dream? I like dreaming. Ready to envision the future? I love envisioning the future. Here is what I see all of us doing in a couple of years from now. Not few years, just a couple of years. Just like you open your email inbox and clear inbox, you will have an inbox with messages from your main agent. Your main agent will ask you, here is question number 1. Last night we did this job. We created an image. Do you like this image? Yes, no. Or, no, I want this to change. Click. Then, we created this content. Do you like this content? Yes, no. Change. Whatever you like. Click, click, click. So you will be clearing an inbox from an agent, not from a person. And while you click, I do that today. I clear an inbox, and my agents are working while I am looking at Pharaoh and the pyramids. Honestly, I'll show you some of my agents tomorrow. So it's incredible what they can do. And the next level, now let me take you to another level now. Now, you can either look at a sub-agent and a main agent, kind of a hierarchy, or you can look at it as a workflow. So the manager agent managing an entire workflow with a sub-agent managing a couple of sub-agents. So basically, sky's the limit. I mean, you can create whatever infrastructure you want, whatever hierarchy you want. And all of these are separate AIs. This is an AI, this is an AI, this is an AI. All of these are AI. So you will create them one by one. You will connect tools to them. And you will give the job to the main manager agent kind of a thing. And you will start triggering it. So there are tools available today that are actually working. And this is why, listen, this is why Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, Cloud AI, they are all behind agentic workflows because they see this is the future. And now, let me come to the biggest decision and the biggest conversation we had yesterday in the panel, which really touched my heart. Do you remember we talked about AI versus person and AI plus the person? Here is where you can make that a reality. Now imagine this whole setting, and then on top of it is your employee. This is the person that works in your organization, and all you have to do is create these agents and give it to him. Create those agents and give it to her. Now you're equipping your employees and your staff and your volunteers and your part-time workers with power. They don't have to write script. They don't have to do copywriting. All they have to do is supervise this workflow and supervise this workflow, and then they report to you or they report to the manager agent, which reports to you. Either way. So suddenly, just imagine, just think with me for a moment. Dream with me for a moment. Just imagine how your employees are going to feel. Instead of being threatened by AI, you go to them and say, don't be threatened by AI. I'll actually give you AI to make your job better and make you feel like you know AI and you can get things done better. And when all these agents work and they create an incredible image or video and give it to them, how do you think they are going to feel? They are like, I created that, right? They are my agents. So they'll start taking ownership of the agents. So this is not about replacing people. This is about becoming an incredibly efficient organization, which is what I think God wants each of us to be. And I think this is the reason I get so excited about this is because to me, this is okay. Yeah, it adds value to businesses. But you know who it adds value to most? It's to you and me. You know why? We are the churches. We are the ministries. We are the people who work with volunteers. We are the people who work with part-timers. We are the people who work with consultants. We are the people who need more time for anybody that wants to work with us. Right? So this is something that we need and we can use. So that's why this is important for the future of the gospel, the Great Commission, and all that we are going to accomplish. This is absolutely critical. I know you may have questions, but just hold on because we're just getting to the close, and I will stop for questions. So now, how do you prepare for the future? How do you prepare for this future specifically? I want to give you some practical things to consider because I know all of you are very smart people and you're like, okay, I get it. Now what do I have to do, right? Let's move on, right? So first, know when you need or you don't need an AI agent because as I told you, you don't need an AI agent at all times. So there are two factors you want to consider as an organization. First is the complexity of a task. How complex is your task? The second is control. How hands-off would you like your organization or the department or the task to be? So these are the two big things that decides whether your workflow needs an AI agent or not. And here's the thing, as someone who works on this day and night as a practitioner, 70 to 80% of your tasks don't need AI agents actually, right now. Right now, you can do most of it with just regular LLM that I talked about. Input, intelligence, output. So you don't have to, but the 20 to 30% of your task needs AI agent. And which is great because with 20 to 30%, you can start building AI agents because here is the thing. In the next 5 years, too much, maybe 3 to 5 years, your 30% of the requirement is going to grow to 70%. So eventually, you're going to need a lot of AI agents. So today, start with a little bit of AI agents. Take one department or one task, one workflow, right? I'll give you a resource to help you with this, but just stay with me. So here is how you decide. So if you put it on a graph, I like graphs, visual stuff, analytics, and so on. I've been an entrepreneur for a lot of time, so I do these things on a regular basis. So when your autonomy is low, and your complexity is low, just stick with LLMs. Just your regular ChatGPT, Claude, all that will help. And like I told you, most of your requirement will be here. But when the complexity becomes a little bit higher, which is what I do right now, I have AI workflows with human in the loop. So about 20% of my task is right there. But with the human in the loop, because I don't want AI agents to go and post something. I want to check everything because right now AI is not in a stage that I can let it go freely. So I take some time to check everything. So that's the second. The third is AI workflows automated. So if it is not too complex and you're willing to let go, then that's where you will be. But when both are high, you're really willing to let go and it's really complex, then that is where AI agents nicely sit there. Right? So you could have automated AI agents, hybrid AI agents, multi-AI agents, RAG, CAG, all those things are there. So it all sits there. One of the attendees actually came and spoke to me about RAG systems, which is very advanced. Good job. So we are getting there as a church. And then the only thing I want to point out there is when you get there, assess the risk, because there is a level of risk involved in that. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. All right. All of you with me? Good? Can we move on? Okay, excellent. So 3 big steps for you to consider when you are thinking about agentic systems. First is strategy, second is stack, and the third is system. So what do I mean by this? As always, think about the why, the strategic piece. So when you think of the strategic piece, I want to give you 4 steps. It's a framework that I have that has helped a lot of our work. So I'll give you this framework. So it's called the SONG framework. Easy to remember, S-O-N-G, SONG. And I'm going to give you this whole document, so don't worry about it. Song starts with S, solutions. So start with the solution. When you are thinking about building AI agents, start with solutions. What kind of solutions do I need right now? What are my pressing needs and challenges in my organization? Because I know all of you are thinking, I need to build agents. This is the place to start. What is your pressing need right now? My social media posting guy just left. He got another job. That's your pressing need. Build an AI agent for posting. If you had a script writer who's just left, build an agent for script writing. Start there because then you have the motivation, then it's valuable, then it becomes easier. Second is optimization for your current processes. So this is not urgent, but you would like to make something that is working right now even better. This is called optimization. So that's the second step you need to think about. So start with the S and then go into O. And then the new possibilities for growth. This is my favorite part. Where you set an agent who will go and find me new opportunities. This is what people like Alex Hormozy, Gary Vaynerchuk, all of them talk about. they talk about deploying AI to find new horizons. Who wants new horizons? We want new horizons. We want to take the gospel to the ends of the earth. Who are the people who haven't heard the gospel in the way we want them to hear? Who are the people we can reach? Who are the new audience I never thought about? One of the things we did with our own work is we input certain data into the agentic system. And the agentic system works in a secure environment. We put that data and we ask for agents to go constantly find new areas. So we're not doing anything. It just keeps going and finding new audience based on the information that we gave. And it's learning, it's becoming better, it's iterating. So that's the third part, which is the new possibilities. And finally, generation. You see the problem with us right now? The difference between AI agentic workflow and non-agentic. In non-agentic, we typically start with the fourth piece. We start with generation. We always start with, I want to create an image. Actually, that has to be your fourth approach. You have to strategically start with the solutions. Then go into optimization. Then the new possibilities. And then generation. So I've got a document, a worksheet for this. I'm going to give you that worksheet as a QR code so you will be able to download it, along with all the links to the tools that I'm mentioning here. So we will be giving it to you right now. So don't worry about it. Right. So the second piece is a stack. So what is this AI agentic stack? Now that you got your strategy in place, what kind of technology can help you with AI agents? There are 4 types of agentic tools available in the market right now. And it could grow in the days to come. Like I told you, it's becoming a huge industry, so it will continue to grow. Right now, there are class called super agents. Super agents are companies like GenSpark and Manus and lots of other super agents are there. So basically why we call them super agents is you go into a website and you give it a task, it will figure everything out. You just say, I want to create a slide deck for my next presentation on, human behavior in the Middle East or whatever, something like that. And you click enter, it will find out which are the good websites, and it will create the slides, it will edit the slides, and it will come back to you and just give you the slide deck. Right? So that's the super agent. And they can also use tools. That's why they're called super agents. So it will select its own tool and so on. So that's one category, which are pre-built agents. There is another one which I have not mentioned here. A website that you want to check out is called agents.ai. Agent.ai. I will give all this link in that QR code, so don't note it down. This is like a LinkedIn of AI agents. Listen, isn't that interesting? So all the AI agents have a LinkedIn site. So you can go and pick what agent you want, and you can ask them to go do work. So there is a website like that, which was started by HubSpot, which is a very popular organization. So Dharmesh, he's big time into AI, and he's the one who started that LinkedIn kind of a thing for AI agents. So that's all these are pre-built agents. Now let's come to the more practical things which you and me can use. So the first thing is the big tech that you all know, OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, they all have agentic platforms. So right now I want to talk to some of you who are large ministries, where you can do enterprise-level AI agent building. If you have the team and the resources and everything, I would highly recommend you consider that space. Google has something called Google Agent Space, right? So you go into Google Cloud ecosystem, and you can build custom agents, right? So that's the big tech piece. Now, for most of us, which is small, medium level ministries, the place to start is the no-code platforms. Okay, this is what I'm going to demo tomorrow. Zapier, there are organizations like Make.com, MindPal, NA10. So these are all, platforms that does not require code, and you can get started right now. And the emerging agentic platform is called browser agents, which is also something that I will demo tomorrow. Is browsers like Comet, I think we talked about it earlier. And ChatGPT has its own browser called ChatGPT Atlas, right? So they're all agentic browsers. I love them. I use them all the time. Because here's the thing. Listen, what they can do is you can open tabs. Imagine you have a tab open with a certain website, and then you have a tab open with WhatsApp. You have a tab open with something. So you can go to the agent inside the browser, because we all work in the browser. You can go to the agent and say, take this information from this tab website, post it on WhatsApp, and send it to this person. It will open all your tabs and do the job. It's pretty incredible. You can just keep watching and it'll actually do the job inside the browser. So I love it. So I use it all the time. So this is like pretty much the tech stack for you. And I've got all those links which will be given to you. Finally, the systems. So I want to close with this. So the systems are, before you start building AI agents, these are some things that you need to think about. We talked about it a little bit in the other sessions. So the first of the systems is pre-deployment. So pre-deployment is thinking about policies and guardrails. Jay beautifully gave us those explanations. Because with agents, you need them right now. That's why I call it pre-deployment. Do not create an AI agent as an organization without thinking about these two things. Because if something goes wrong, it's automated. For example, the example that I'll show you tomorrow, I just give the Bible verse. It will post on my Facebook page live right there. Right? So you should be careful, right, as to what it posts and so on. So have guardrails, have policies, have systems in place. And when you deploy, you need to think of these three things. Which team is going to handle these agents? Like I showed you the structure, right? Which team is going to handle it? Who is the human in the loop for each of the section? And what are some of the standard operating procedures for AI agents? So things to think about. And then finally, post-deployment, which is after you deploy, what are the things you need to do? Do a review on a regular basis. Do quality check, just like any other employee, just like any other staff on your team. Make sure you review the work, check the quality, and keep improving it. Because the more feedback you give to AI agents, they can become better and better and better. All right? So those are the three things. Great. May God continue to open the eyes of your understanding. I know all of you are like, what in the world are you talking about? Don't worry, okay? It's going to be cool. I'll show you some demo. It's doable. Like Queen said yesterday, it's a piece of cake. It's not complicated to get started, all right? So thank you so much. So thank you. Thank you. So this will give you all the tool links and the song workbook. So the song framework workbook has some questions for you to work with your team. So it's like a workbook. So for everything and I've created this workbook for 2026. So as you enter the new year, you can be prepared in the next 2 months for the 4 parts, song framework. All right, while you download, I'm just going to take some questions. How do we do that? Yeah, there's my friend here. All right, let's take some questions and then we'll be done on our mark. I want to be on time.
We got like 100 questions.
You got 100 questions,
No,
let's do it.
Just kidding, no.
Where is my AI agent that can answer my questions?
Yeah. The session was quite informative, everyone. It was very clear. But we want to go back to basics. What's the term of Agentic? What does it mean from the source of it? And can you elaborate and
great
explain
question.
more?
So why are we calling this agent? So actually the root of all this is biblical. Do you know the agency, the human agency? I think yesterday, day before yesterday, Danny talked about it, right? In his closing, he talked about the human agency. So the word agency simply means, the job that has been given to us. Somebody who takes a job and gets the job done. So the work of a person is called agent. That's why we have, do you have insurance agents here in Egypt? You definitely have travel agents. You have lots of travel agents. You have big insurance agents in India and various other places. So the reason we call them agents is they help us get a job done. So that's the root of that word agent. So it's agency, where we go and give me the job, I'll finish it and give it to you. So that's the root. Good question.
The other question, now that we have lots of tools to be used, all right, but some of the Christian organizations, they don't have enough funds to have paid tools.
Yes.
Are you going to explain more or how to use with a good, fair enough prices or free versions?
Great question. So I don't have enough budget. What do I do? That's why I told you I'm excited about this. Because with AI agents, first of all, one thing I want all of us to do today, if not anything, is to go with an agentic mindset. That doesn't cost you anything, right? Just take this mindset. Start thinking like this. Deploying AI to do jobs and workflows. That's free, right? And second is there are lots of free tools that you can start using. I will show some of those. Like, for example, ChatGPT. If you already have it, you can use Agentic tools inside. You can use Claude. You can use Perplexity. You can use all of those very free or low-cost tools. And even totally yesterday, Nick was asking me, what does it cost? I mean, if you think about even multiple Agentic tools at a very small level, for me personally, you can get it done in almost nothing, next to nothing, couple of $100, that's all. It's not very expensive at all. Some of the tools that I talked about, for example, Zapier, to get started, it's not very expensive, but it'll build up. But if you use tools like N8N, which is one of the tools, you can self-host it, and it costs really, really almost nothing. So there are lots of cost-effective ways to do it. But of course, you can also build like agents for thousands of dollars, very complex, complicated agents. So it's as long as how are you able to scale that up? So definitely for low-budget ministries, this is a blessing, and you should learn more about it and this is just getting started. I came all the way, and we decided to do this topic because I wanted to pique your interests. I wanted you to see, this is the new future of AI, and I want you to get prepared. So obviously the road is going to be longer. You will learn, take one step at a time. Tomorrow I'll share with you some resources where you can learn about Agentic AI, and then you will be fine.
Okay, last question. In your last panel, you mentioned one of the tools that you've been using comparing different AI tools.
Yeah.
Do we have a name, or it's something?
Yeah, so the tool that I specifically mentioned about books is a tool called UBooks, where if any of you are writing books, you can just go to that tool, and that tool will take few hours for each of your chapter, and it will actually put one AI against another AI and ask it to discuss your chapter one by one. So that's the tool I specifically mentioned this morning. But there are lots of tools that can do that from a different workflow perspective. So if you want the simplest way to do is just open each in one tab and copy the prompt and try to put one against the other. Take the output of one, give it here and say, this is the output, what do you think? Ask Claude AI. And then go to another model like Gemini and say, this is what Claude is saying, what do you think? So that's the easiest and the free way of doing it instead of going to a tool. But there are lots of tools that can help you do that.
Okay, we have a technical question about the difference between agents and platforms such as make.com.
Yes, fantastic question. So first of all, when you look at agents, what are we talking about? We are talking about automated workflows, right? Which is not a new concept. Automation has been there for years, decades. That is why companies who are leading this space from a no-code background they are automation platforms. How many of you have used Zapier? I mean, even if you don't know what Zapier is, I am telling you 100% if you go to your web developer, they would have used Zapier somewhere. Zapier has been there for years, decades. And they have become agentic because the foundation of agents is automation. So what they've done is they've taken all the automations and they have created it like an AI agent, which can function based on the prompt. They've brought AI or LLMs into it, then it becomes agentic. So that's the major difference. So automations are without intelligence, AI agents are with intelligence. So basically that's the difference. Any other questions?
Yeah, so we have a question now. But most of our content is in...
Why don't you come up? Yeah.
I don't like the lights.
You're a very humble man.
So most of our content creators, we use the Arabic as language.
Yes.
However, all the information that's coming to the chatbots and everything is in English and very Western with their, the cultures.
Yes.
So how can we help in feeding with our own, say, Egyptian language or like Lebanese or any other slangs? Like
Yes.
If we mention.
Yes, excellent question. So there are two aspects to this question. So how can you use things in Arabic, like your knowledge and also intelligence and LLMs? Sorry. So there are two ways to think about it. One is try to use LLM models that have Arabic language capability already. And there are some open source models which are actually good at it. The easiest that we all know are Llama and Gemini. both have the capability, any LLM from Google, any LLM from Facebook. They have capability, very good capability in multiple languages, and I'm sure they have capabilities in Arabic as well. Why? Because Facebook wants to do global business. That's their business. So they are constantly building multilingual capability. So when you build agents, try to include these models as part of your workflow. So that way you can do everything in Arabic, and it can understand Arabic. Try not to include LLMs that don't have multilingual capability. So that's my first point. Second is your own knowledge base. Whatever you have in Arabic, once you have the LLM model, the intelligence inside the agentic workflow that understands the language, you can just upload it, and it will be able to use that, your context and your knowledge specifically to run it. You will get a lot more clarity on how to do all of this tomorrow when I actually show you the demo of where you need to upload it and all that. All of you will be like, oh, now I get it. That's going to happen tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Last question is, now we have a great opportunity of learning something today, all right? For like we've been here for like 2 days. But after 2 weeks, there will be new technologies, there will be new integrations, there will be... So how can we educate ourselves with what's coming new, especially that we are still learning, we're still in the beginning of the learning phase?
Yeah, so not in 2 weeks. In about 2 hours, everything will change. Definitely. So what I would say is look for technologies and look for workflows and thought process that are going to last for maybe just a few years. That is why AI agents are an important thing for you to learn, because agentic AI is not going anywhere. People are pumping in billions and billions into this technology because this is the future. So this is a good thing to learn. It's not going to change from a fundamental perspective, at least for the next couple of years. So that's good. Instead of hours, now we've got years. Second, for you to learn, like I told you, start building something. What are you going to learn sitting? No. Do the first AI agent. Then you will know how to do the next agent, how to do the next agent. See, even after my demo tomorrow, I would love for the demo, hopefully with the internet, we will make sure that you will be able to all at least take a few steps in the agentic AI building. If not here, go back and start building your agent. I would love to see all of you build your first simple agent tomorrow evening. How about that? That's how aggressive we should be. Come on, right? People are getting lost. They are not going to heaven. Let's do it. So, and it's not complicated. It's just clicking a few buttons. So I'll give you a very simple homework and you can do it tomorrow. So once you do that first agent, then you start moving. So that's the way to learn. So to answer your question, how do you learn? Not just by online courses, not by just events. All of that are important, but by doing. There is no better way to learn than doing, and especially in AI. I can show you how many ever demos you want. Danny and Nick and all of us can show you demos, but if you don't do it, you have to open and click and do it. AI is simply, that's the way it works. You just have to do it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless.